Let's talk about Brexit now and the impact that that is having on your business. There seems to be, at least up until the election and this political uncertainty we've had in the UK, investors have baked in the idea of a hard Brexit. Now we're hearing different tones from the Chancellor, Philip Hammond. Should investors start to rethink how this Brexit negotiation is going to unfold and the impact?
Well, as you say, Tom, there's a lot of noise around Brexit and there's a negotiation underway now. We'll all be monitoring it very closely. From our perspective at the London Stock Exchange, we're just getting on with building our business. And as I said before the break, we have seen a large number of international companies come to the market, especially in the last few weeks. Companies from all over the world, relying on our international investor access, the strong regulatory reputation we have, and the deep pools of capital. And that continues and is a fundamental strength of London and the London Stock Exchange.
You've actually benefited from a weakness in sterling as well. It's been something of a lift for the LSE, isn't it?
Well, I think the FTSE 100 index has companies in it where 75% of the earnings are overseas earnings, and people understand that better now, given the developments over the last year. But more generally, we've always been a very international market. The biggest IPO in Europe this year, Allied Irish Bank, an Irish Eurozone bank, coming to London to raise €3 billion of capital, following on from Bank of Cyprus, also moving their primary listing to London earlier in the year. So I think you're seeing a very strong franchise for us.
Are you or any of your colleagues putting in contingency plans for Euro clearing, given what we've heard from the Commission, their proposals potentially to move some Euro clearing into the Eurozone? Are there contingency plans in place to mitigate that?
Well, of course, we're monitoring the negotiations at our clearinghouse LCH. We have the biggest pool of derivatives clearing liquidity in the world. We clear multiple different currencies in one place, generating huge efficiencies for our clients. And we don't see that it will be in anyone's interest to seek to disrupt those efficiencies and create risks to stability.
Let me ask you about M&A. Obviously, the Deutsche Börse deal didn't come off in March. How has that changed your strategy, if at all? Are you looking for bolt-on acquisitions, and how much have you set aside for potential buyouts?
Well, the London Stock Exchange Group is a strongly growing exchange and market infrastructure group, one of the largest in the world, and we have continued to look for acquisitions. Most recently, we announced the acquisition of Citigroup's fixed income index business, which is now underway and pending completion. And with that takes our index business to assets under benchmark of $15 trillion. So we continue to grow and develop, and our businesses across the board are performing well.
One of the big listings that everyone is talking about, potential listings, is of course Saudi Aramco. And the London Stock Exchange is very much in the mix, according to the people we've spoken to. How confident are you that you may get a shot at this listing?
I'm not going to comment on any specific company. What I can just point you to is the strength of our international listings franchise this year. Listings from all over the world, the strong regulatory integrity we have in London, the depth of the international investor base, and the confidence that investors all over the world have in our platform.
Let me get one more question on the trends that you're seeing. I know you've talked about fintech, you've talked about green finance. Where are the opportunities now in terms of alternative financing and how you can capitalise on that?
Green finance is a huge area, and we're in China, where China has led the way in green finance globally in the G20 presidency. So we see huge opportunities there, not just for green bonds, but also renewable energy funds, a very big part of our market. In green bonds, we've seen the first green bonds from China in London, from India, again another one last week from the Middle East region, also coming to our market. You also see the interaction of crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending with the public markets, and we see some big opportunities there too, particularly financing small and medium-sized enterprises.